Hello and welcome to Gun's Movie Recaps. I am gonna recap Safe, starring Jason Statham. We begin with Luke, a cage fighter who with one punch sends his opponent into ICU. Later on he goes to the casino and he attacks the manager who was in charge of the fight. After punching him, the manager reveals that it was a fixed match and Luke had to lose to his opponent like he always does. Luke argues that his opponent was a fake fighter, but the manager tells him that a Russian mafia named Emil Dosky lost his money after betting against Luke and he's gonna revenge. Elsewhere in a certain school in China, a young girl named May amazes her teacher when she corrects his calculations. The teacher gets embarrassed and sends her to the principal. The school principal recognizes that she is a genius and recommends that she should transfer to a good school abroad for a better education. While walking after school, May gets kidnapped by Chinese triads who take her to their leader Mr. Han. Mr. Han tells her that he heard about her skills through his niece and he would like to use them. Mr. Han says using computers leaves a traceable digital footprint, that it's not good for his crime business. He gives her a test, but when she hesitates, he scares to harm her mother. May quickly completes the test and Han promises to cater for her mother's needs. He puts her under the watch of Chan, who is taking her as his daughter to one of his businesses in the USA where she will work for Mr. Han. Meanwhile, Luke hurriedly drives home to save his wife. On arrival, he calls his wife but finds Russian mafias led by Vasily Dosky already in his house. They put him on gunpoint and they brag about killing his pregnant wife. They provoke him to fight, but Luke is dumbfounded and heartbroken and asks the mafias to end his life. Vasily refuses to kill him and says that Luke caused a remarkable loss to their gambling business and disgraced his family name, and for that the Russians will kill anyone who gets close to him in any way. He then advises him that the only way out is if he ends his own life because they'll kill the landlady too if he stays in the house. Elsewhere, Captain Wolf helps forge May's American citizenship and passport through Mr. Chan's bribes. When he tries to renegotiate his business cut with the Chinese triads, Mr. Chan tells him that they have no problem killing cops who get in their way. Sometime later, Luke abandons his old life and avoids everyone who knew him as a fighter, and he becomes a homeless wanderer on the streets of New York. 1 year later, May fully understands all Mr. Han's businesses in Chinatown. Mr. Chan relies on her for all the business transactions and records. May reveals that one of their casino isn't performing well, and after learning that the manager is making losses, the triads beat him up and shoot him dead while May watches to teach others a lesson. Later on, May asks why Chan tortured the man if he was to kill him, but Chan answers that she hasn't learned that side of business yet. The same night, however, a lady tells May that her mum died 2 weeks ago, but they're keeping it from her. Luke resorts to feeding and sleeping in homeless shelters. While there, he encounters a homeless man who begs him for his shoes, but he scares him off. After seeing his feet, however, he pities him and offers him the shoes that night. The next morning, Luke wakes up and finds the beggar brutally murdered. He gets confused, and when asked by security, Luke fails to explain how it happened and he gets banned from returning to the shelter. Meanwhile, Mr. Han arrives to New York to check on his businesses and Mr. Chan receives him. He asks May to memorize several numbers on a paper which he says is very important. May replies that she has done so and Mr. Chan supports her, to which Mr. Han proceeds to burn the paper. While on the street, a homeless man knocks Luke and he ignores it, but while on a drugstore counter he learns that the homeless man pickpocketed his wallet. He then laughs like a maniac and a concerned detective drags him outside. While warning him not to return, the detective recognizes Luke as an ex-agent in the elite force and arrests him. The officer then drives Luke and tells him he's calling the old team. They beat him up in a warehouse and blame him because he ruined their corruption deals when ratted them out before his retirement. They mock him about Dosky killing his wife, but Luke keeps his temper. Officer Leslie bets on him ending his life and offers him a gun to kill himself, but Luke chooses to walk away regardless of their provocation. On the same day, Mr. Han orders Mr. Chan to take May to memorize another number sequence similar to the first one. Mr. Chan tells May that her future is bright if she finishes this task, but they're suddenly ambushed with a heavy shootout. Mr. Chan tries to shoot May himself, but the Russians manage to kidnap her and drive away. May is brought to Dosky. He demands that she should give him the numbers she memorized. May hesitates and Dosky brags that he bribed Miss Lin, her caretaker, who revealed all Mr. Han's plans. Dosky brings Miss Lin to persuade May to reveal the number, but she warns instead that she'll be killed because she's now useless, and shortly, she's shot dead by Emil Dosky. He then scares her to talk, but he gets interrupted by police knocking on his door. We learn that the police team is working on Captain Wolf's orders, who made a deal with Mr. Han to get May from the Russians or kill her if he can't. But before Captain Wolf makes his demands, Dosky calls him and makes him a better offer if he pulls back the police force. But by this time May has managed to escape, and Dosky sends his men to pursue her. Captain Wolf calls his men off, but Dosky informs him the deal is not good because May has escaped and his men cannot pursue when have both the police and Chinese are against them. Dosky then urges Wolf to find May before the Chinese get to her, and he agrees. He orders his entire police force to hunt May, who is now heading for the subway, and the Russians join the hunt too. Mr. Han learns that Captain Wolf has crossed him and joined the Russians. He threatens to behead Mr. Chan if he doesn't get May before the Dosky's men. Meanwhile, heartbroken Luke is in the Manhattan subway thinking about suicide. Before jumping, Luke notices May looking very terrified. He decides to sit and observe why she's scared. While sitting, he notices the Russians passing and hiding from them. She boards the train and the Russians follow, which intrigues Luke to pursue, intervene and save May. Luke notices May running and he runs after the train and he manages to hop on at the back. As May's escape narrows into a dead end, Luke uses the roof and gets in one of the couriers. Before the Russians narrow down to May, Luke straight up beats the goons in hand-to-hand combat, and due to his cage fighting skills, he hurts them severely. May watches Luke defend her as he takes 3 men at the same time. When one tries to shoot, he quickly breaks his fingers and disarms him, then shoots him when he recognizes he works for Dosky and takes a wallet and a phone from one of them. May is now terrified of Luke, and when he asks if she is fine, she runs away instead. Luke runs after her and he learns that the police are also searching for her. May falls into the hands of the Wolf's men, who attempt to take her. Luke arrives and beats them ruthlessly, and he recalls that they tortured him earlier. As he tries to earn May's trust, the Russians arrive shooting, which forces her to get away with him. Dosky receives news that May has been taken by an beggar, to which he orders his men to kill them both. Russians pursue and shoot fiercely at Luke. He's now perplexed why everyone wants May. The street race gets tense, and May speaks for the first time. Luke manages to dodge a bus, but the Russians ram into it. Luke earns May's trust and asks her to trust him in order to escape. He drives into smoke and he lures the Russians into a trap where he shoots them skillfully, ending them all. Luke gets another pistol and then asks her to follow him. Captain Wolf's men tell him that Luke has taken May and beat up his crew and the Russians. He gets enraged because he knows Luke very well. Wolf is interrupted by call from the mayor, who summons him to his office. Luke makes a hotel reservation with wallet he stole and disguises as Ivanov. He gets an expensive suite hoping they'd not suspect, but the Chinese are tracking May's phone GPS and manage to learn her address. May asks Luke why he saved her on the train, but he instead tells her she saved him from suicide. They introduce each other and Luke learns that May is an orphan and has been staying with Chan. But Luke, knowing about Chan, he figures out that he must have brought May for a reason. She reveals that she is a math genius working for Mr. Han. She tells him how Han trusted her with a very important number. When Luke asks her if she wants to be taken back to Han, she declines, knowing that he will kill her for have caused much trouble. Luke asks for the numbers, and because of his experience he figures out quickly that it's a combination to a safe when she tells him about them. The Chinese arrive outside following May's GPS. Mr. Chan gets Luke's description and proceeds to ask the receptionist for his room number. Mr. Chan and his men resort to force when they fail to be helped. The hotel guard intervenes, which brings about a shootout, and Luke learns about their presence. They learn his room number, and he finds out May's phone was traced. He then commands her to note the numbers for him. The Chinese round up the hotel and hold it hostage. Luke and May leave the room and he shoots one of them and escapes through the stairs. The police arrives on scene and immediately engages the Chinese in a shootout. The shooting and the police is outgunned. Chan tells him men to stop the police as he goes to pursue Luke. Luke makes his way to the gang in the dinner area and starts taking them down one by one. When his gun empties, he skillfully engages the rest in one-on-one combat, giving them a beatdown with anything he touches. In the process, Mr. Chan kidnaps May again. He shoots Luke, who jumps through the window to save himself with a corpse. Mr. Chan commands everyone to move out, and he blends in the crowd while holding May. Luke also evades arrest on the streets from 2 cops. The crowd confuses the police and Mr. Chan makes it to his car. A cop recognizes him, but he's shot immediately. A shootout ensues, but the Chinese escape. Luke outruns the cops and steals a car but abandons it shortly for a yellow taxi, and he manages to escape. While in the taxi he calls Vasily with the mobile he stole. He disguises as the goon he killed. He mimics a Russian accent and tells Vasily that he has the number from May. Upon hearing this, Vasily schedules for a meeting and gives Luke his address. Elsewhere, Captain Wolf meets Mayor Danny, who is aware that Luke has been involved. He warns Captain Wolf, explaining that Luke was not a regular cop. He was a black ops man who was hired by the government to train fellow agents in the CIA shortly after September 11th along with his former partner Alex. Luke and Alex assassinated several crime bosses as an effort to impose order, and Luke quit because he exposed Wolf's squad for dirty dealing, and for this reason the mayor commands to seal off Manhattan to stop May from leaving with Luke. Mr. Chan returns May to Mr. Han. He asks about the man who's saved and if she told him the numbers, and she denies. Mr. Han threatens to kill May's mother, but knowing her mother to already dead, she lies to him that she only spoke Chinese and pretended not to understand English. Chan calls Alex, and they plan a meeting. Luke hires a prostitute outside the club and proceeds to Vasily's address. He carefully studies the area and pays Hooker secretly off to go away. He goes to the counter where he stabs the first guy with a fork, shoots at the others he mapped out, and kills them all. He kidnaps and beats Vasily through the kitchen and takes him in his own car. He calls his father Emil Dosky and tells him that he got his boy and wants a deal. When he bluffs about not caring about Vasily, and then Luke threatens he would destroy his operations and his family, Dosky accepts the deal and tells Luke that the safe has $30 million and he needs an army to get to it. Vasily realizes that Luke could have easily killed them the day they killed his wife. Luke ties him up and puts him in the car trunk. Mr. Chan is called by Alex, and he's told by Alex where to take May. Meanwhile, Luke meets Captain Wolf and his former crew of agents, and they ask him what the deal, but he first munches on a sandwich. He asks for a lighter and burns the code combination after memorizing it to create leverage. He tells them about the heavily guarded $30 million in the safe and convinces them to join him in retrieving it, seeing an opportunity for a great retirement package. Captain Wolf and his detectives reluctantly agree to his deal of splitting the money into 6. They show up at the club, take down the guard, and start shooting immediately upon reaching inside the club. The team showcases their skills as they take out the Chinese triads and proceed downstairs towards where the safe is. The fight intensifies, but the team kills everyone in its way. Mr. Han's man informs him that they have been attacked by a team more skilled than the police, and Mr. Han tells his men to kill Alex after delivering May. The team makes downstairs and they blow up the door, hence revealing the safe, fearing that the team could shoot him. Luke tells them to put down their guns. He pretends to open the safe but shortly turns around and shoots them all, sparing Captain Wolf at gunpoint. He opens the safe, even though the police have arrived outside. They both carry out the cash, and Luke orders Captain Wolf to drive from the scene, after which he ties him up and leaves him with Vasily in the trunk. Luke then calls Alex, who is the mayor's bodyguard and in charge of the exchanges. He tells him that he got the money that the Chinese were to pay. Luke learns that the second safe is a disk with data on every crime syndicate in New York, and the Chinese wanted to acquire it so that they could use it as leverage to blackmail prominent government officials. He then convinces Alex to rescue May in exchange for the money. Upon meeting them, Mr. Chan pretends to have the money. As May asks Alex to get a pen, he quickly shoots them all and kills Mr. Chan as May watches. He calls Luke and tells him it's done, and Luke gives him a location. Meanwhile, the mayor is called to his office and he realizes it's a trap. Luke asks for disk, but the mayor denies having it. He then tricks him to reveal a copy, and after confirming it contains the data he needs, he knocks him out and escapes. Later on, Luke arrives to meet with Alex, and after catching up on old times, he tells him that he knows how he assaulted the mayor for the disk. He asks him why he needs the girl when he has both the money and the disk, but Luke refuses to surrender the money, knowing he will shoot May, and he suggests that they settle it with a fight, and they both put down their guns. But before they could start, May shoots Alex from behind and Luke quickly shoots him dead. Upon asking her, May says she had seen Alex fight earlier, and he would have been bad business for him. Luke agrees that she saved his life again. Later on, Luke frees Captain Wolf and orders him to return Vasily to Dosky unharmed, and he pays him $50,000 for the troubles he caused. He sends the rest of the money back to Mr. Han to buy May's freedom, but threatens to ruin his operations if he tries to come after May. Mr. Han is enraged and says he'll never return to New York. Luke hides multiple copies of the disc throughout the city. He tells May they're leaving for Seattle. Luke tells May he doesn't hope to be a good father, and May replies she wants a friend, and Luke then promises to be May's friend till his dying day, bringing the movie to the end. Thank you for watching. Do you think Luke would have taken on Alex?